Yamaha team in second place. Storming start from Miguel Oliveira.
Miguel Oliveira had a lot to say, but one sentence summed it all up. Differences naturally made us distance ourselves. Miguel had not been having the easiest time with the Red Bull KTM team. The time had come for KTM and Miguel to go their separate ways, and he felt that it is what he needed to do based on the facts. He commented that the team had done some internal structuring and was very willing to push him out and have Jack Miller take his place. The fact that the manufacturer was trying to keep him through the GASGAS Tech 3 MotoGP seat made no difference. He had made up his mind. He's one of the few riders who will be switching bikes and teams this season. After spending several seasons with KTM, he'll be part of the Aprilia RNF team, a whole new experience that gives him a great desire to perform as best as he can. He'll have to quickly get used to the RSGP bike he had previously tested at the end of last season in Valencia. He was not badly off and completed 4th in overall time, an encouraging placement for the future. The real challenge will be the test that will follow in Sepang and another in Portimao, and on top of it, the race is soon to come. What is surprising about KTM's decision is that Miguel Oliveira gave them their 2 victories in the MotoGP last year, in Indonesia and Thailand respectively. He finished the season in the top 10 after gaining 149 points. He'd even been named the King of Rain, but they were still willing to replace him with Jack Miller, who will be coming in with a contract that will last 2 years. Miguel had decided to switch to Aprilia with RNF because he no longer had the factory seat, and the fact that it seemed like KTM was headed towards something different than what he wanted when they made a decision not to confirm Miguel for the factory team. He expressed what he had been feeling during one of his recent interviews, but he did not think that KTM had treated him badly in any way. From his perspective, it all had to do with how they were thinking, and restructuring the team meant that a new rider would have to take his place. They grew distant because of the differences, and as much as the future was concerned, he did not see himself and KTM on the same boat. The door had not been completely closed though, as the team still wanted him to stay as a GASGAS rider as part of their plan to reintroduce GASGAS with Iberian riders. A Spanish and Portuguese rider is what they needed. But Miguel believed that sometimes change is necessary, and some chances only come once in a lifetime. He had been offered a 4-year deal defending GASGAS, but he decided to get out of his comfort zone while the GASGAS team acquired Augusto Fernandez, the Moto2 champion. Miguel has been part of KTM for a long time, and this year will be the first time that KTM will go without him since 2016. He has been on top of his game, proving time and time again how much of a good rider he is, with 4 MotoGP race wins since 2020 with KTM. KTM has given him a lot of comfort in his sporting career, and while he had initially been sure of what he would do in the next 4 years if he would join GASGAS, that's not what he wanted. Miguel is looking forward to new opportunities and experiences. He's particularly confident for the years to follow in his MotoGP career. He believes he can grab the championship title next year, which will be difficult because he'll be a rider for a satellite team. The odds are not completely against him, as a lot remains to be seen. Miguel will return next season to a MotoGP satellite team as a rider with Team Crypto Data Aprilia RNF in the MotoGP. The manufacturer has great plans for Miguel and even thinks he has what it takes to battle for the Premier Class title. They hope he can step up the factory's structure in the long run. Aprilia Racing Team CEO Massimo Rivola rated Miguel as one of the riders who can battle for the title, just like Maverick Vinales and Aleix Espargaro. He also believes that Miguel should stick with them and the team after the RNF because he has the potential and has proved he can win races. Miguel will, however, not be doing any tests for the Aprilia factory team. Massimo plans on improving the team and Miguel's performance. If he's faster with a chassis that Maverick and Aleix do not like, he may get the opportunity to do some tests, according to the CEO. Massimo also thinks the riding style and feeling of MotoGP and motorcycling are different from F1, and the riders can do things completely differently. He's very optimistic about a future with Miguel Oliveira. Miguel's future seems to be bright, especially after he got his hands on the Aprilia RSGP at the test in Valencia. The bike was not what he had expected, and he was left in awe after the test. Speaking about the bike, he said he found it to be a lot smoother when braking, and after completing 80 laps that day, he could not believe how much work he had done. The bike accepted what it was doing, and he believed that things would work out, which made him a bit suspicious as he did not want to be completely happy with the results. He will receive an RSGP for 2023, similar to what Maverick Vinales and Aleix Espargaro had towards the end of 2020. A comfortable and well-performing bike can make a huge difference on the track, and that is exactly what he'll need, especially with his dream of becoming a world champion. One of the 2020 highlights was how Aleix Espargaro performed as he battled for the title up to the last third of the season, and the weapon he had was the RSGP from Aprilia. It seems like the bike had played some part in how Aleix performed, which could be reflected in Miguel. Miguel's analytical skills immediately allowed him to understand how Aleix and Maverick did it when he got his hands on the bike. They had 9 podiums in total last year and 1 win. He still noted that some areas needed improvement, which KTM was rather good at, but he did not reveal exactly what it was. He commented on the performance, saying that he understood how both the riders do what they do, but he also felt their pain at the times they failed to get the results they desired. Sprint races are making their way to MotoGP, and quite a lot of riders are well aware of their risks and will be required to approach them differently this weekend. Miguel and Pecco, however, see the new format as proposed to throw in more emotions on Saturdays. He thinks that the objective is to give Saturday a different product. Comparing Formula 1 and MotoGP, he thinks that the F1 format attracts many people to watch the qualifying because the positions from there are also the positions in the final race at the end. What happens on Saturday is a prediction of what will happen on Sunday. On the other hand, he thinks MotoGP is different, as its objective is to give Saturday a show, and it will be tough on both the riders and the mechanics. He is, however, hopeful that things will work out, and if they do not, then he'll not go crazy. It will be crucial for the championship points as the races are almost sprint, and cutting the laps by half will make it a knife in the teeth kind of situation. The races will be held on Saturdays, with less time than the Sunday races. The races will also qualify for the World Championship in half of the points. It's a new year and a new life for Miguel Oliveira.
Yeah, the goal was not to perform well, it's just riding and understanding a little bit the limits of the bike.
It is a special year, and unlike the previous years, the season will start in Portugal instead of Qatar, with November hosting the Losail round. He even publicly invited Cristiano Ronaldo to the Qatar Grand Prix, planned for the end of November, on the Antenna One's private Infinity show. When they asked him about his proximity to Cristiano's new home in Saudi Arabia, could Massimo be wrong about Miguel Oliveira? And most importantly, will Oliveira fulfill his dreams of becoming a world champion? Well, one thing that is for sure is that he's ready to put in as much as possible. And from his impressive performances since the beginning of his career, there is a lot more to him than meets the eye. The RSGP is also in the mix, just as Miguel is. Adapting to the bike is very crucial for the king of the rain. Refusing a 4-year deal with GASGAS and choosing an uncertain path, Miguel Oliveira might just be onto something.
I'll take a win in any condition.
Awesome job, Miguel.
And for his MotoGP fans, they'll sure be watching and rooting for him.